Kurang bisan wah jangama kurang bisan ya matrenelo iyan dem marong iyan den jai kai wai iyan dem marong suma iyan dem marong kai wai kurang bisan wah jangama mernala big wajal sumanje ke na se yo ya maton iyan kilime na fonye bang fan tv iyan kilime na fonye bang fan tv iyan kilime na fonye bang gasiti kadomo wallahi iyan kilime na fonye bang iyan kilime na fonye bang gasiti kadomo de wallahi gasiti kadomo fan tv iyan kilime na fonye iyan kilime na fonye bang.
Everyone, I am Hadijatu Bangra, working with Peace of the Gambia. I am the Outreach and Advocacy Coordinator. It's very important because I get to learn a lot, and I've seen another community which we did not intervene, and that community has an issue like religious intolerance, and so has Outreach and Advocacy Coordinator of Peace of the Gambia. If I go to the office, I'll write my report because every activity you need a report. So from my report, I'll write recommendations that in our further interventions we will go to Kermode Ali to see what other things we can do to bring social cohesion and combat injustice. Peace of the Gambia, we have been implementing series of activities. Like one of the activities is Badimbung, Si Champion Peace, and most of our activities is cross-wide. We go to nationwide. We don't just stop at KM or stop at Banjul. So we go to all the communities. Just currently, our UNESCO activity, which is Kick Hate, Keep Love, we went to series of communities to talk about their political interventions and how their social cohesion is. So, and we got to learn so many issues from them, and some of the issues we are able to settle was social cohesion and reintergeneration. This workshop is very insightful, and my takeaway from today is, as outreach and advocacy coordinator coordinating every implementation we have outside, I will make sure we do our part as we normally do it. So one of the intervention we will do, we will first do our findings and see how we can intervene, because we already have mediators across all countries. And this Kirmor Ali at CRR North, we have two mediators there which will serve as our own peace agents. So we will coordinate with our mediators and the district chairpersons like we normally do, and see how we can best address those issues there.
My name is Uday Jete. I am working with Peace Ambassadors the Gambia. One thing that I've really learned from this workshop is the fact that in peace building, it requires a holistic approach, that you have to include all stakeholders involved, and that the parties that are also involved. Because one of the cases that we were talking about is the case of Kermot Ali, which like if you look at it in the Gambia, most people don't know about it and think we are in a peaceful country while other people are suffering. But if you also look at the what is the government stake in that, what are the people involved, the parties involved, how can we bring all those people together to create and build social cohesion in that community. I think one of the things is bringing community ownership in whatever you do, and sometimes in our projects that is one some things that are lacking in projects. I think I've learned that like community ownership is very important. When you go into a community, they have to feel involved, and they also have to feel that they own the project in order to sustain the project and for them to also contribute in the project. So that's one strategy I've learned today.
Yeah, my name is Mohamed Kanute from National Council for Civic Education. Well, at National Council for Civic Education, we are involved in many civic engagement or civic education related issues in the area of human rights, constitutional democracy, political education, and that of peace building and conflict resolution. And then I think that's what that aspect is in relation to this particular program of today, which is organized by WAVE, the Gambia, or WAVE by the name. That is in relation to conflict related issues that are happening, or to communities that basically communities that do experience human rights violation during the former the former regime
Mhm.
of President Jammeh, and then talking about all those things, and then coming into the fact that there was TRRC and the recommendations have been made, but yet not been implemented.
Fully.
So the lack of implementation of those recommendations is still hanging around, and then trying to is still catalyst for conflicts in the environment or in our communities that we live. But basically, as an institution under the government, we are we are subvented institution, meaning that we get percentage support from the government, but we are less funded by the central government, which makes it challenging for us to get intervene into certain areas. And as of now, most of our interventions or programs are donor funded by UN agencies. Some of the areas, programs that we implement on terms of our peace building and conflict resolution, were during the electoral cycle, that is a pre and the post electoral cycle, whereby we get to engage members of the security, the communities, and that of the youths to dialogue on what measures can be put in place to avoid conflict coming into our electoral cycle. So also we speak to people to raise their people understanding on the area of rule of law, because lack of awareness on the area of rule of law will make people not to be law abiding. But once they have a good understanding of rule of law and what their rights and responsibilities are, that helps a lot and contributes a lot to see how best people can live in a peaceful and with a peaceful community that they do have respect for each other. And the other issue is of political tolerance education that we do give to people. That comes into political education as much as we inspire young people and women to come into politics, but we also put across to them the issue of political tolerance at the back of to put at the back of their mind that in any political activity that you see that comes into play, if tolerance is not present, at the end of the day, it turns violence, and if it turns violence, it's another thing that will delay our development agendas. Yeah, well, a lot of stories have been shared, and the stories that have been shared here are more of communities that were affected during the Jammeh era, that is Jambur and Kermot Ali. These two communities, yes, I get to learn that here there was a video that was sort video documentary that been made, and then I get to hear some of the comments that were being made by the victims. And then present here today is a young man from Kermot Ali, also got to emphasize, share his side of the story, and then the struggle that his people are facing in terms of resettlement from Senegal to Gambia. So that alone, you get to see, it's a technical issue that is something that involves a larger group of people, stakeholders in the play. That you have the regional stakeholders coming into play, you have political parties, political leaders coming into play, the religious leaders coming into play, but you have that of the central government, whereby you have the Ministry of Interior and local governments and land justice coming into play. So I get to realize that there are still more efforts to be done to settle the dust down, so that the issue of Kermot Ali can be settled, and then people come back and live peacefully with each other.
Thank you very much. My name is Konko Kande, representing Activista on this platform, and I serve as a project officer for Activista. I believe today is a very important day, having been here to discuss some of these issues. Before I came to this event, I didn't come across that video. I didn't know most of the things that have been discussed. So I believe today coming here have made me learn most of the things that were happening in the past 23 years. Yes, and I believe some of these things are very crucial for some of us to know, or for the public to even know about this. So yeah, the day has been a great day. I believe this is going to be very helpful for me, both personally and also in the aspect of representing Activista. Personally, I've learned most of the things that are being discussed here, and today is the first time that I've been hearing some of the things. So that alone have helped me in my personal development, and also when you look at it in the institutional side, we've been doing a lot of projects and activities around justice. Yes, we have a slogan called Up with Justice. So most of the activities that we do are around it, and we also have activities that we implement that are promoting local initiatives to promote peace within the community. So I believe this is very important there, and there are a lot of things that are being discussed. When I go back, I believe that is something that our staffs in general need to know, so that we can see what we can do around it.
My name is Safia Tuture, Catholic Relief Service. It's very important to me, and particularly because of the current transitional, post-transition government that we have, and acknowledging the fact that there is still some conflict in the country. It's very important that for me personally to attend to see how I'm able to contribute to resolve current conflict in the country. Yes, I've actually learned a lot, particularly about the conflict, despite the fact that I worked at the former TRRC. I've learned a lot, particularly about the Kirmot Ali issue. Yeah. CRS previously significantly contributed to the TRRC process in terms of social and peaceful cohesion. Right now, we currently do not have any social coexistence, social cohesion
systems.
yeah, programs in place. But this, honestly, today I was thinking that I can maybe find ways to see how we can maybe apply for funding. In order to be able to contribute to ensuring that there's peace in the Gambia.
My name is Ajifatuba. I work for One of the Gambia as the Women Peace and Security Officer for the institution. The workshop is important because it is actually trying to highlight incidents of violations that have happened over the past few years and how what measures we're putting in place to make sure that we try to solve this issue. We have over the workshop, we have actually highlighted so many key issues. That is the government's commitment or its lack of commitment towards addressing this issue, the role of social media, role of CSOs to also, go into communities and try to mediate these things, and how we also want to have all key stakeholders on board to try to synergize their efforts in making sure that this problem is actually addressed. And also, I think part of the workshop too also includes the religious aspect of it, because the key element or the key foundation for the problem at Kermor Ali is actually it stems from a religious background. So I think it's actually important that we have an interfaith dialogue to try to tackle this issue, because religious issues are normally very sensitive and actually requires care for us to be able to. Conflict is actually sensitive. So part of what I learned today is the conflict sensitivity aspect of it, and also different strategies over the discussions that we had. So different strategies that we can use to ensure that we address the issue at Kermol Ali. One of which includes having interfaith dialogues, to also includes having engaging the governments to also make sure that they have a stance on what exactly to do when it comes to the issue at Kermol Ali, because as it is right now, it's very, very delicate and it's very, very sensitive, and we have the public outcry in these communities, and it's also causing disturbance in these places, because there is no harmony between um, those that are exiled and those that currently live in these places.
There.
So it's actually very, very difficult to look at, by the way. So part of what I learned today is the sensitivity of conflict and how we can also come up with peace building initiatives to make sure that we mediate these issues. Yes, so as a peace builder, as a young peace builder, of course, how this is going to impact my work is I am very sensitive when it comes to people that I deal with, people that I work with, my beneficiaries. So that comes with their religious background, with their ethnic background. So sensitivity is key in everything that you do when you're dealing with other people. So in that aspect, it's going to lighten up my knowledge on those issues and why I should be very careful. And also, as a peace builder, it's also pivotal to know how you also approach communities when it comes to issues like this. Because as I mentioned before, conflicts are very sensitive. So how you deal with them can actually determine whether they're going to escalate or not. So that's the takeaway for me.
My name is Keba Seka. I am a victim representative of the exiled Gambian community in Kermot Ali, Senegal. Well, this workshop is very important because it is centered around promotion of peace, social cohesion, and reconciliation. And peace is the basic of everything. Peace is very important and essential in our life. So Kermot Ali is a community in the Gambia that lack peace, reconciliation, social cohesion for more than a decade. This is a community that was forced into exile in 2009. Since 2009, the Gambians, inhabitants of Kermit Ali, the original inhabitants who were living there, none of them are still living there. Instead, they are forced into exile. They are now living in Senegal as refugees. So being victims of forced displacement, that is why this workshop is essential for us. This workshop is quite beneficial for the fact that what the right violations and all the human right abuses that had occurred in Kermit Ali during the incident, which led to our forceful displacement in Senegal. From the workshop I learned that similar thing had happened in other parts of the country. Perhaps cases are not the same, but in Jambur, when I watched the documentary on witch hunt, people accused of being wizards and witches, it was quite heart touching. It was definitely heartbroken, and I was able to connect the dots because it is out of misconception or wrong perception, misinformation and disinformation that resulted to the exile community of Kermit Ali to be a victim of exile. The same thing, it is also wrong perception, misinformation that actually make the people of Jambur to be accused of witch and wizard. So that had a very huge impact, not only on life and livelihood, but also on their health. You see people attesting to the fact that after they drink the concoction, since then they have health issues. So in Kermit Ali as well, during the incident, the police disembarked and disembarked on the community. On the instruction, they say on the instruction of the former President Jammeh, not even the children, the pregnant women, no one was spared. So people were being beaten mercilessly. So the PIU pickup will be loaded with people one after the other, and you'll be beaten until your detention center. So from Kermit Ali to your detention center, on the highway you will be beaten. At the detention center, you'll be beaten. And people were detained for 21 days. Some were detained for 1 week without taking anybody to court. So during the entire incident, the amount of people that were being mercilessly dealt with, that were mercilessly abused, none of them were ever taken to court. And they were detained until any time they feel like to release you, they release you. So I was able to connect the sufferings that the victims in Jambur had lived with and compare it with the numerous experience we have in terms of human rights violation and abuses of the former government.